Hey everyone, I'm Sarah Johnson. I used to live in Chicago with my parents and my younger brother, Mark. We've always been a tight-knit family, and one thing we all treasure is an antique diamond necklace that's been passed down from our great-grandmother. It's a piece of our history, and we're all proud of it. But lately things have been off with Mark. Ever since he started dating Vanessa, he's been going overboard trying to impress her. Fancy dinners, designer clothes, you name it. It's like everything else in his life has taken a backseat. One night, I was relaxing in the living room when Mark walked in, dressed to the nines. Heading out again, I asked. Yeah, taking Vanessa to that new sushi place downtown, he replied. I raised an eyebrow. Did he just buy new sneakers yesterday? He shrugged. So what? I work hard. I deserve to treat myself, and Vanessa. I muttered under my breath, but he ignored me and left. Feeling uneasy, I called my best friend, Emily. I'm worried about Mark, I told her. He's spending money like there's no tomorrow. Maybe it's just a phase, Emily suggested, though I wasn't so sure. Something felt off. Later that night, Dad called the family into the living room. His face was pale, and Mom's eyes were red from crying. I've got some news, Dad began, his voice shaky. The doctor found something. I need treatment, and it's going to be expensive. The room fell silent. Then Mark broke the tension. What about the necklace? We could sell it. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Are you serious? That's our family heirloom. Mom shook her head firmly. No, Mark, we're not selling it. It means too much. Trying to ease the tension, I offered, I'll pick up extra work. We'll figure something out. But Mark just shrugged and went back to texting, completely unfazed. In the following weeks, I worked nonstop. But Mark continued living his high life, going out with Vanessa every night. Then one evening, I overheard him on the phone in the hallway. Yeah, I know I need cash fast. Don't worry, I've got something valuable lined up. My stomach dropped. He couldn't be talking about the necklace, could he? Later, I confronted him. Mark, what's going on? You've been acting really strange. Mind your own business, Sarah, he snapped. This family is my business, I shot back. If you're in trouble. I'm fine, he yelled, storming off. I stood there, a knot forming in my stomach. Something was seriously wrong, and I had a feeling our family was about to be thrown into chaos. Little did I know how right I was. After that, I couldn't shake the suspicion that Mark was up to something. His talk of needing money, the vague references to something valuable. It didn't take much to connect the dots. So I decided to take matters into my own hands. I bought a small hidden camera and placed it in the living room, right near where we kept the necklace. Maybe it was overkill, but I was desperate. A few nights later, while I was working late, my phone buzzed with an alert. The camera had caught movement. I opened the app, and my heart nearly stopped. There was Mark in the middle of the night, taking pictures of the necklace and measuring it with a ruler. I couldn't sleep after that. The next morning, I rushed to check the necklace, and my worst fear was confirmed. It was gone. I replayed the footage, and there it was. Mark, pocketing the necklace at 2 a.m. I confronted him in the kitchen. Where's the necklace, Mark? He looked at me like I was crazy. What are you talking about? Don't play dumb. I saw you take it last night. His face flushed with anger. You've been spying on me? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with me? You stole our family heirloom. I fired back. Mom walked in, looking confused. What's going on? Mark turned to her, playing innocent. Sarah's lost it, Mom. She's accusing me of stealing the necklace. Because you did. I have proof. I shouted. Mom looked between us, bewildered, as Dad entered the room. Soon the whole family was caught in a shouting match. Mark kept denying everything, calling me paranoid. Why would I steal from my own family? He yelled. To impress your girlfriend, maybe? I snapped. But in the end, nothing was resolved. My parents didn't want to believe that Mark could do such a thing, and without showing them the footage, which would open a whole other can of worms, I couldn't prove it. I called Emily, nearly in tears. I need your help. Mark stole the necklace, I'm sure of it. Oh my God, Sarah. What do you want me to do? Can you help me check pawn shops, jewelry stores? He must have sold it somewhere. Over the next few days, Emily and I called every pawn shop in Chicago, searching for the necklace. Finally, we got a hit. A shady place downtown remembered seeing a necklace that matched our description. The owner, Tony, agreed to meet us. When we arrived, his shop was exactly what I expected: small, rundown, and sketchy. Tony eyed us warily. Yeah, I remember that piece. Beautiful antique. The kid who sold it seemed desperate. My heart raced. How much did you give him for it? I asked. Tony named a price that made me wince. It was way below the true value of the necklace. Any chance you still have it? Emily asked hopefully. Tony shook his head. Sold it to a collector already. Sorry, ladies. As we left, I spotted Mark across the street, standing next to a shiny new car with Vanessa hanging on his arm. My blood boiled as I overheard him bragging. Check out my new ride. Family inheritance. Pretty sweet, huh? Vanessa squealed and hugged him. Oh my God, babe, it's amazing. I clenched my fists, piecing everything together. He'd sold our priceless family heirloom to buy that flashy car, just to impress her. I wanted to march over and expose him right then and there. But without solid proof, it would be my word against his. And right now, Mark had everyone fooled. Emily placed a hand on my shoulder. We'll figure this out, Sarah. He can't get away with this. I nodded, already forming a plan. Mark might think he's won, but he had no idea what was coming. This wasn't over, far from it. Determined to get to the bottom of things, I set up another meeting with Tony, this time alone. I know you already sold the necklace, I said, getting straight to the point. I'm not here to buy it back. I just need to know more about the sale. Tony looked uncomfortable. I don't usually talk about this stuff. I leaned in, lowering my voice. The guy who sold it, he's my brother. He stole it from our family. Tony's eyes widened. I had a feeling something was off with that kid, he muttered. After a long pause, he sighed and gave in. All right, I'll tell you what I know. Turns out, Mark had been practically begging Tony to buy the necklace, desperate for cash. Kept saying he needed the money fast, like his life depended on it. Tony said, shaking his head. Then, to my surprise, he pulled out some paperwork. Here's the sale record. I shouldn't be doing this, but family's important, you know? I thanked him, my mind racing. This was a huge break, but I needed more. So I did something I never thought I'd do. I hired a private investigator. A week later, the PI called me. Miss Johnson, you might want to sit down for this. What he told me made my blood run cold. Mark hadn't just stolen the necklace. He'd been embezzling from his workplace and opening credit cards in our parents' names, maxing them out. It was a web of lies and theft, and I was reeling. How could my own brother do this? That night, I overheard Mark and Vanessa arguing in the driveway. But babe, I thought we were going to Cancun next month, Vanessa whined. I just need a little more time to get the money together, Mark stammered. You always say that. What about that inheritance? Can't you just sell something else? She snapped. I clenched my fists, listening to Mark struggle to keep up his facade. I'm working on it, okay? Just give me some time, he pleaded. After Vanessa stormed off, I saw Mark pull out his phone and start Googling. How to sell house without owners knowing. My heart sank. He wouldn't, would he? I knew I had to act fast. Using a burner phone, I called his workplace. Hello, I have information about employee theft you might want to look into, I said, keeping my voice steady. Next, I contacted the credit card companies, anonymously reporting the fraudulent accounts. With every call, I felt a mix of relief and dread. The wheels were in motion, and Mark's house of cards was about to collapse. Not long after, my parents found out the truth. They were devastated. Angry, heartbroken. We've lost so much, my father said quietly, barely able to look at me. Mark's trial came and went, and he received his punishment. Justice, as they say, took its course. As for Vanessa, she found another man to latch onto, wasting no time moving on. A part of me felt guilty. He was my brother, after all. But then I remembered the look on Mom's face when she realized the necklace was gone. Dad's stress over the mounting medical bills. And how Mark had lied to all of us without a second thought. No, he brought this on himself. Sometimes you have to be cruel to be kind. And in this case, the kindness was for the rest of my family. I went to bed that night knowing tomorrow everything would change. Mark's perfect little world was about to come crashing down. And honestly, I couldn't wait to see it happen. But that's the end of my story. Now I've got a question for all of you. If you were in my shoes, would you have exposed your own brother's crimes? It's not an easy choice, balancing family loyalty with doing what's right. Was I justified in bringing Mark down, or should I have tried to handle it privately within the family? What would you have done differently? Do you think there's ever a point where someone's actions become unforgivable, even if they're family? Does Mark deserve a second chance, or was this level of betrayal too much to overcome? How would you have confronted him if you were me? And what about the law? Was it okay for me to break it by using a hidden camera to uncover a greater wrong? What do you think drove Mark to betray his family like this? Was it just greed, or something deeper? If you were in my parents' shoes, could you ever trust Mark again? Were there warning signs I missed, things that could have prevented this from spiraling out of control? Was selling the family heirloom the ultimate betrayal, or was it the fraud against our parents that crossed the line? How do you think this experience will affect our family in the long run? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Share them in the comments below. Thanks for following along with my story, and if you enjoyed it, stay tuned for more.